momentum, then we can say something about DeFi. Okay. So first, I want to talk about stablecoin. Dai B. Okay, Dai is a stablecoin. Okay, if you know Chinese, okay. Sorry. How to? Okay. So this simplified Chinese is this, right? So Dai B is this. So you can see it's one peg on US dollar. So Dai B is 1.01 US dollars. Okay. And the fluctuation, actually, if you compare this with non-commodity currency like Taiwan dollars, I consider this to be relatively volatile. Okay, because although it's always centered around 1.01 US dollar or 1.00 US dollars, it can go down to 0.96 to 1.1, right? So it still fluctuates from time to time, but it's maybe 10% volatility. I think commodity currency is also about 10% volatility, like the Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar are commodity currency, because those three governments, like Japanese, they are more their central bank don't mess around with foreign exchange rate too much. Okay, so it's like a commodity currency, and so they fluctuate a bit more. But Dai also, although it's called stable coin, okay, Dai is called stable coin because it aims to be like one-to-one pegs on fiat currency. It still fluctuates 10%. That's why the stabilizing cost of this stable coin is about 10%. Also, it's volatile. So this slides, I'm trying to explain why stablecoin is important. Okay, because money has three functions. The first function is store value. Those cryptocurrency like a Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin, people believe in Bitcoin's function as a store value. Right now it's like 10,000 US dollars, right? So people say, okay, it has store of some value there anyway. Okay, but this cryptocurrency doesn't do well in terms of medium exchange and denominational value. Okay, because if you are fiat currency like Taiwan dollars, you need to function as a denominational values. So like I was just I haven't finished my lunch yet, but when I bought this lunch 3 hours ago, thinking to my student, okay, then it's 80 Taiwan dollars, right? So you see it's denominated in terms of Taiwan dollars. But the cryptocurrency is very volatile, go up and down all the time. It's not functioning well as denominational values, and naturally it's also not good in terms of medium of exchange. Okay, so like 2 weeks ago, people talk about token economy, right? Token, like cryptocurrency is a token, right? Token economy. In China, I met this guy, Jason from mainland China, and he said he has been teaching token economy, like blockchain token economy in China, in each class of 3 hours, right? He charged 10,000 renminbi. Okay, so yeah, we don't charge anything, and we give you coins, right? So after you download coin2me.org, during the break I'll give you coins. Okay, otherwise you cannot take the class. You have to buy the permission number, the authorization code of the class with that token. Okay, so but anyway, so he said he charged 10,000 RMB for every 3 hours of teaching. Then I was very motivated. Okay, so I asked him to send me his slides, and after I look at the slides, I asked him the question: do you charge the students in tokens, or you charge them in renminbi? Okay. So he was surprised by my question for a few seconds. He didn't say anything for 5 seconds, and then he said, "Of course, renminbi." Okay, so even for people who teach token economists, don't believe totally in tokens. They still want fiat currency. So you know it's not very good for medium exchange, because if we get some token, next moment the price may drop 20%. So naturally they want like fiat currency. So stable coins trying to address this problem. I think without stable coins, crypto may bleed to death last year, because there's no inflow and the outflow easily last year. But Tether, you know Tether, right? The USDT, T stands for Tether. People know about the meaning of tethering, right? Tether is to connecting real world and the crypto virtual world, right? So USDT from Bitfinex, oh sorry, from Tether, the company Tether became very dominant in the past. If you look at the coin market cap, you see Tether is number 6. 4.1 billion US dollars. So it's a stable coin, right? So it's roughly $1 per Tether. Okay, 这 Tether 去年真的是一人救全党。So Tether, because of this stable coin, then a lot of currency is still alive. Okay. So okay. Let me quickly explain. Let me quickly explain how DeFi works. Okay. So after talking about DAI, okay, DAI is stable coin, right? People remember now, right? 1-to-1. Okay, Maker is for market making. Okay. So here, sorry, I have to talk a little bit about market making. It's not computer science per se, but it's important, because a lot of people, actually I noticed some of my students think they can issue some coin and it's stable, it's worth something. No. When you issue some token, you have to try to somehow do the market making, right? You can do it psychologically, you can do it with market maker. Okay, so for example, a simple example is when Taiwan dollar versus US dollar is appreciating, then the Central Bank of Taiwan may want to do the market making. They may want to keep selling Taiwan dollar or keep buying US dollars. Of course, you will ask, then Central Bank may lose money, right? Because they try to do this market making, but don't worry, Central Bank just need to print more dollars to get back to cover the loss. Okay, but how do you do market making in a decentralized way? Okay, this is what's Maker. This Maker, actually they call themselves Maker DAO. Okay, sorry. What's the meaning of Maker DAO? Okay, so DAO stands for decentralized autonomous organization. Okay, so this DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. Okay, so they try to do DeFi in the highest level. Remember, I say DeFi can be decentralized in governance. So they try to do this decentralized, do things in a decentralized way. Okay. So I'll explain this later. Okay. So you can see they issue 1 million Maker coin, right? 1 million Maker coin, and right now each Maker coin or each Maker token is $750, about in the ballpark. So that means the stabilizing fund for DAI is 750 million US dollars. That's even more than Facebook Libra, right? So because Facebook say they want to issue this Libra with 30 in the beginning is like 30 to 23, about let's say 30, okay, 30 companies. Those companies are like Visa, Uber, Lyft, eBay, and MasterCard, and so on, right? And each company put in 10 million US dollars. So if you have 30 companies, then Libra has this 300 million US dollars in their market making fund, right? But if you look at MakerDAO, this organization, they have more. They have 750 million US dollars for this 750 million US dollars. Okay. So the next slide. Okay, let me explain how this DeFi works. Now I've introduced you the stablecoin Defi. Okay, Defi. Okay, and also introducing you the Maker coin. So fundamentally, this DeFi is using these collateralized state positions. Okay, so how does it work? In terms of collateralized state position, say I have say let's make it simple. I have say 10 ethers. Okay, so when I have 10 ethers, I don't want to sell it because recently, if you look at coin market cap, ether pricing has been going up, right? It's appreciating. So I don't want to sell it. I don't want my ethers to sit idle there. So I just put these 10 ethers in the smart contracts. Okay, this DeFi, right? It's decentralized because when I put my money on the Ethereum smart contract, there are more than 10,000 miners. These 10,000 miners are like executing smart contract. These 10,000 miners are keeping the system honest because you cannot really bribe all the 10,000 miners. Okay, you don't have that much money to do more mining than these 10,000 miners. Okay, so collateralized state position is the following. I put my 10 ethers as collateral, and let's say each ether is okay, it's $6,000, but 6,000 Taiwan dollars today. Okay, but let's make it simple. Let's say it's let's just say it's 10,000 Taiwan dollars. Okay, so when I put in 10 ethers as collateral, I roughly put in like 100,000 Taiwan dollars, and then I can loan. Then I can get say 60%. So I put in like 100,000 Taiwan dollars worth of ethers, right? I get back 60,000, 6万块 okay. So the 6万块$60,000 I got back. Usually I got in the form of a stable coin. So it's good for me as medium exchange as denomination value. It doesn't fluctuate much. So I literally get literally get those Defi, okay, Dai token. So I literally get this 60,000 Defi. Okay, so then I can use this 60,000 Taiwan dollars to pay my tuition last week, and also I can use this 60,000 dollar to buy iPhone 11 or so on because I want to show off to my girlfriend or whatever. Okay, the young people, if they go to banks, the bank don't want to deal with you guys because you don't have credit history, and also you only want 60,000 people. You only want $60,000. It's too small for bank to do credit assessment on you. The overhead is too high. So just typically, then the students just go to DeFi. Okay, then they get back 60,000 Taiwan dollars in terms of stable coin. So you can use them. You can buy iPhone 11 or pay tuition. But you may ask what happens if the Ether price drop? Okay, don't worry, because it's all on smart contracts, and say the price, if the price say drop from now I say everything in terms of Taiwan dollars, but you know what I mean. Okay, so if the price originally is in your collateral, in terms of your collateral, original price is $10, 100,000, right? 10万块, okay, 100,000. And then if you drop to 80,000, then the smart contract will execute for you, will sell this for you. Okay, so you see what I mean, right? The smart contract will just sell those ethers and get the fiat currency at 80,000. So you still have the difference between 80,000 and 60,000. Okay, then what happened to those $20,000? Of course, the lender will get very good interest rates. Okay. 100%, 200% interest rates, and then the platform needs some platform fee as well. So as long as the Ether price doesn't drop directly to zero, where those smart contracts may not even have a chance to sell those Ethers for you. Otherwise, you are pretty safe, because the smart contract will do this. Will do this selling when by monitoring the position. If let me show you the next slide. Okay, it's easier to explain with numbers. Okay, this is the maker price. Okay, and then there's a characterization. It's a characterized state position actions. Okay, so here the pink portion is the remaining. You can still borrow out this much money, and these are, I said, 10 ADX. Those probably richer people, right? They have 10 ADA ethers to use it as collateral. Okay, so basically it's like when you buy futures, like 期货. Okay, when you buy futures, you have this leverage. You get, say you buy these futures in terms of Taiwan Stock Exchange. Okay, then if you don't have enough guarantee, because the Taiwan stock price may come up and down, right? And then the Taiwan future Taiwan Future Exchange, TAIFEX, TAIFEX, which stands for Taiwan Future Exchange. They will have people call you and say, okay, please deposit this amount of money by 5 p.m. today, for example. And then if you don't deposit this much money, then we'll sell your futures for you. Okay. The only difference between TAIFEX and DeFi is just that DeFi doesn't call you. DeFi will rely on the smart contract, and smart contract is open source. You can look at the contract and know when they will execute the sharing for you. So you will know yourself, right? You just monitor the price. If the Ether price drop 20% today, then the smart contract will execute for you, and then you only, because you only get $60,000 out, right? So there's a difference, because you get only 60% out, and then the price only dropped 20%. So between 80% and 60%, you still have room to give everyone their fair share. They give the lender their interest rate, their interest, and also give the platform the money. Okay, I'll go to more details later, but let me give you a quick high-level view. The governance. Earlier I say DAI is volatile compared with those non-commodity fiat currency. So you can see why sometimes the stabilizing fee is 12.5% or 13.5%. It's again decentralized in governance. Okay. Okay, so it's using people's votes. Like should it be 12% or 13%? If you have more makers, then your voting power is larger. Okay, so maker ownership will help determine this. Okay, and this is the loan rates. Around 3.5% to 20.5%. Okay, so it's a characterized state position. Okay, I'll go into more detail later, but let me quickly give you an overview first. You get the idea. The important thing for the first class is to get the idea first, to get the big picture first. Okay, so you see the interest rate is about 10%. It's not bad. Okay, so if you have money idle, you lend it to people, you get reasonable interest rates. All the transactions operate according to a protocol without having to trust any central entity to coordinate this process. Okay, of course, okay, if you go to compound finance, you put your money in, even when even no one has borrowed your money, they start paying interest to you already, and pay about 10% interest rate. It's annualized interest rates. Okay, so of course I think another important thing is to educate the governments. This interest rate is okay. I think one thing is like my students have been telling me young people's risk-taking capability is very high. Okay, so that's something my students want me to convey to the government. So他心脏比较强, their heart is strong. Okay, so government shouldn't worry too much about this high interest rate. Okay, that's what my students have been educating me about on this. And also another thing I think which is a bit unfair to the cryptocurrency world is the following, because many government officials will say these DeFi people are doing loan sharks, like 高利贷, high interest loans. That's morally questionable. But to be fair, I observe a lot of my students only do this borrowing and lending for a few days. Say they want to pay tuition, and then they do this DeFi, and then at the end of the month they get stipend from the professor already, and then they will pay back. And so if you show annualized interest rate, it looks high, but if you just look at weekly interest rate, for example, then it will look more reasonable, look smaller, it's more tolerable in that sense. Okay, so depending on how you look at this, I think there are different ways to think about this. Fundamentally, cryptocurrency, the market is very volatile. It's up and down easily 10%. So this to them is very reasonable, like 10%, because they can use the money they borrow from DeFi to make money, make a lot of money. Like say maybe more than 10%, or of course may lose money too. Okay, so sorry, I'll explain. I'll change this to English soon. Okay, so here I just want to say there's a risk. There's a risk. DeFi. DeFi platform obtain the price. Obtains the price. Mortgage price from Oracle. Okay, so this Oracle doesn't mean Oracle database. It just say it's a external contracts that you get the Ether price from CoinMarketCap, from lots of data.com. Okay, and then the DeFi smart contract will execute. Oh, sorry. Okay. So execute accordingly. Okay. So this is in. Okay, yeah. So I'll use the next slide to explain more. Basically, EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. Your smart contract is executed in the Ethereum smart contract, and you will use the Oracle to get the data. For example, important data points. What's the price of Ether today? Okay, if the price of Ether is $100, then I give you $60 in terms of stable coins. Remember, I say the characterized state position is 60%. Right? So if you deposit $100 worth of ethers, I give you $60 back in terms of ethers. Okay. In terms of stable coins. Okay. So then this slide I try to explain. Many people claim DeFi is safe because it's decentralized. It's supposed to be safer, right? No. Actually, a lot of DeFi is more centralized than CeFi. CeFi stands for centralized finance, CEFI, right? So DeFi can be more centralized than CeFi, and also DeFi has this risk because now you are at the mercy of the Oracle contracts. In addition to the exchange, right? When you get the DAI token out, you are relying on the exchange, right? 交易所, the exchange. Like we have experts here. A lot of exchange hacks these days. In summer, Bitcoin, this Bitcoin cryptocurrency exchange got hacked in Japan. Okay, so billions dollar in Taiwan consumers cannot get. I mean, those consumers in Taiwan cannot get this. I think about 2 billion Taiwan dollars worth of cryptocurrency are gone. Of course, this is not Okiwara-san's fault. Okay, but it's the risk. Okay, so when Oracle server got hacked, then the hacked Oracle can provide wrong price. Earlier I say 1 Ether today is about 120. About $200 US, right? What if the Oracle return now one Ether is $2 million US? Then I'll be so happy because when I put in 1 Ether into the smart contract as collateral, I can get if it's $2 million US, I get 60% of the $2 million US, right? So I get 1.2 million US dollar back. So I only put in $200 US, I get 1.2 million US dollars. Then the platform lose a lot of money. They lose about 1.2 million US dollars immediately, right? The system may crash, and the money may be gone, right? So the key is this exchange price API. When it got hacked, then it's important. It has important consequence because Oracle obtains collateralized market price from exchange price API. From this API, if the API is hacked, then the wrong price may lead to system crash, the shutdown. The system may not be able to maintain further. Okay, assume the collateral in our system is ethers. Okay, let me use this simple example. Say Ether's market price is $150 US. Mortgage rate says DR, okay, DR is 150%. Then 1 Ether collateralized in the system can loan you back US dollar 100. Okay, but if Oracle gives the smart contract the wrong price, this DeFi smart contract got the wrong price, say $1,500, then the hackers can use 1 Ether to obtain 1,000 US dollars back, right? So versus the real price of Ether, US 150. Okay, a short while ago, 1 Ether is indeed US $150, but today it's $200, right? But back to this, the important thing is the price difference is 850, right? So because it's 1,000 minus 150, so the system lose $850. Okay, if the hack is like everywhere, then I think the platform soon may not be able to operate further. Okay, so that's the important risk of DeFi. Okay, so how about we stop here, because I just noticed the time. Sorry, I a lot of times I'm too excited and forgot about the time. 老师有时候讲课会忘我，所以就忘掉时间了。好，就完全忘掉时间。So it's 4:40 now. How about